Yo, what's up boys, welcome back to another behind the IGL video, and today we're going to look at how to survive second surge in super stacked games. To do this, we're going to look at two games that I coached in FNCS Grand Finals. Also, if you want to support me, you can use code VUJ in the Fortnite item shop. If you want to follow back on Twitter from me, you can also tweet video proof of you using my code to buy something, and tag me in the tweet and I will follow you back. Anyways, that's enough talking, let's just get into the video. Enjoy. Okay, so before I go into these games, I want to explain a couple things about Surge and what is done in the games I'll show you next and why. Okay, so assume in the game, in Grand Finals, this is the zone that appears in one game. And then, since it's like pretty central, everyone has a really easy rotate. So the majority of people are going to be center because it's such an easy rotate and everyone wants to go center. So the majority of people will be like in this green square here. And what you want to do to set yourself up for a position that's going to be guaranteed surge is exactly center as you possibly can at around this red mark. And what that's going to do is no matter what zone you pull, this is about the size of second zone. If you're exact center, you're guaranteed a spot on second zone basically. And the majority of the time it's going to be on the edge position. So look as I move these second zones around, these are all the possible different zones. And you're going to notice the red dot keeps staying on the edge. And no matter where I put it, and even if you're center here, it's still going to be good. But no matter where I put it, the red dot's going to be in zone. So this is good knowledge because when second zone like pops in like a grand finals lobby, everyone rotates super quickly to like edge or into second zone basically. So if you're the red dot and say second zone pulls here, what you're going to be able to do is at this red dot, when you're already based up, you can hold all the like congestion in this green circle as they rotate towards you into zone, and that's how you're going to get your surge. And you notice as I move around, everywhere I go, you can hold the greens, you can hold like the extra green circle of people. And why you want to be exactly center as well is I'll give you an example. Say the red dot's where you are, like where you position yourself. Say you went here and you're like, yeah, it's pretty central. What's gonna happen is that you need to rely on a good zone to have a good spot for surge. Because say you pull like this zone, you're going to be here, you're actually going to be able to hold a lot of people, and you can still hold the like most of congestion in the green circle, and you're going to be able to hold people like over here. So it will be a good spot if you pull a good zone. But say you pull a zone that's like this, then you're out of like zone basically, and then you have to rotate in and you're getting held, and by the time you get in, everyone's going to have rotated and then you're going to have no one to hold and die to surge. So you're relying on a good zone if you position yourself outside of center. And then when you pull a zone like this, like that's really edge to like one side, you're going to notice that the congestion of people in certain areas is going to be a lot different than to when the first zone is like somewhere central. And that's because a lot of POIs and people and teams are going to find it really hard to rotate and aren't going to be able to make it center zone as compared to like an easy zone that's like central, like the last one. So the majority of congestion is going to end up like this green space here instead of all being like pretty central. So in these zones, what you want to do is, especially if you land pretty closely, like anywhere that can easily get to center or at the back, is what you want to do is set yourself in a position that is like this hill here, or any spot that's like in this bottom right here, because with the way that zones work is usually like 99% of the time when zone pulls like this hard to a bottom right or any edge, is second zone is gonna pull back. Is gonna pull back down here. And then if you're one of these red spots, you see that you're gonna be able to hold this congestion really well, and you're gonna get a lot of surge. And then if you're like not in a good spot to make it to like a good place in like these red circles, like say you land like Pleasant or Stealthy or like Lighthouse, and you're only gonna be able to get to edge, you can base yourself like partially on the way through, like here or like over here. And then what you're gonna be able to do is when zone pulls down here, you're going to be able to hold like the congestion that's up here as they come towards you, and then you rotate enough till you got your surge. So I want to show you something that you really need to know, especially for grand final lobbies, is since everyone's so good, right, they all rotate really early to second zone especially. So say zone pulls down here, right, and you position the red dot, you need to know that the majority of people, especially in this green circle, will rotate in the first minute of when zone shows. So that's when you have to mostly be actively looking for holding people, because that's the reason why sometimes you'll notice like in grand finals, say before this second zone popped, you were positioned like on your marker here, and then if second zone shows and then you sit here and you waste time, and then you rotate in like after 2 minutes, and now you've gone here after 2 minutes, and then sometimes you'll realize, especially like in a pretty central zone like this, everyone's gone and you just see nobody rotating in, because literally everyone's already in second zone because they all rotate super early. So you have to be in the edge position on second zone really early and be holding for like the first minute, which is when the most amount of people are going through. I can probably show you an example of that in the games that I show next. So this is the first game, and this is the first one that shows. And what I was doing is I was looking where exact center is, which is right here on this marker, and there's a little hill here. So I communicated for them to go there. So, and also you'll notice that like I just said before, the most of the congestion is exactly in the middle here. And then the second zone shows, and just like I say, you're guaranteed edge second. And then here, you notice on my cursor here, this team right here is the team that we're looking at. And you can notice how many arrows and people there are that have to rotate straight towards them, and that they can hold for surge, because they've positioned themselves well. And now all they have to do is make sure that they have a position that can see all of these people and have like a big line of sight towards them. So I told them to go over here, or at least one of them, so they can see more people, because from this angle you can't really see over here. So this position can see a lot more than them. And then you'll start noticing, I'll open the map, all these people that are rotating in, like this team here is rotating in. This purple team's rotating in, this team's rotating, gas station. There's a lot of people rotating in, and you notice how they're all rotating in the first minute. And you see here, nearly no one isn't in zone. So you just have, especially in grand finals, you have to be in super quick. I just want to explain something here too, is that I don't want you guys to get mixed up between going fully center and then you miss out on some opportunities. Because especially if you have like a good POI that has access to a lot of good mountains, like this team here does, is even though they're not exact center, going on this hill is a lot better because it's so much higher up and you have a lot more line of sights, but you're still like pretty central. So sometimes you have to sacrifice like center positioning for like a better hill. Like it's not a perfect guide to go exact center every game. Some games you can't, or some games you shouldn't. And then now we're in the next game, and you see zone pulls over here. So I'm looking to go like center, in a good spot on center. But I know by this zone that it's predicted to go back to Holly, like around here. So I know we can go a bit to the left, if there's like a high spot there. So I remember going on top of this house here. There's like a really big house there, and based on top of it, and it's still pretty central. And then you can notice, like I said before, the congestion on a zone like this that's super far to an edge. The congestion is a lot different, and it's more towards over here. So it's especially good if you predict zone to go back and you're already positioned here. You're going to see so many more people. And then you see that zone does pull as predicted, and then you can see how many of these arrows have to rotate towards us, which is the blue team here, and how many people we can hold for surge. And then I remember how much they comms for how much damage they got, and they had more than enough damage for this first zone surge. So I told them to just insta rotate more center so they can set themselves up for a better position to get middle third like later on. Because as soon as you have like more than enough damage from going edge second, then you want to instantly rotate to a better spot so you can get into a better spot third zone as quick as possible and easy as possible. So we took that advantage of them having damage to go more in, which like made the rotate to third a lot easier later. And then I'll just show you again that, look, the zone hasn't even started closing and nearly the whole lobby is already in second zone. That just shows how early you have to be in second zone and holding people. Because especially like these teams in logjam here, they'd expect if they got into zone, some bad players would be like, they'd expect to get in zone here and then look back and there'll be people to hold, but they don't know that everyone rotates super quick in grand finals and that you have to be there super early.